Zoe, and I am a physical therapist at Therapy in Motion here in Norman, Oklahoma. Today we will be talking about stretching and the impact it has on our day-to-day lives. Flexibility and stretching is a key component to our physical health. It is needed for normal functional movement, whether that be walking around the mall, playing basketball, or even just driving. There are several benefits to stretching and maintaining our good flexibility. It can reduce muscle tension, improve flexibility, improve our joint mobility, increase circulation, improve our energy levels, prevent future injuries, and improve our posture. It enhances athletic performance, improves coordination, reduces muscle soreness, improves body awareness, decreases neurological tension, and promotes relaxation. Stretching can reduce injuries from reaching, whether that be up into the top cabinet for a glass out of the cabinet. It can be reaching for the garage door opener, or bending over to pick up a bag of groceries, or lifting our child off of the floor. There are many conditions that are caused by tight muscles. Muscle tightness can cause headaches, low back pain, muscle strains. It can decrease our shoulder range of motion, so it makes it hard to put on a jacket. It can cause tendinitis like golfer's elbow or tennis elbow, and it can even cause sciatic nerve irritation, or that low back pain that sends shooting pain down into your legs. It can cause fatigue, it can make it difficult to breathe, decrease our joint motion, and also cause an increase in degenerative disc disease and degenerative joint disease. The results of decreased flexibility are a decrease in walking speed, step length, increase in low back pain, all of which can cause an increased risk for falls. Muscle tightness can lead to a decrease in circulation, which means that our muscles aren't going to have enough oxygen and the waste isn't going to be pulled out of our muscles, causing inflammation and pain in our muscles, reducing our movement, and causing overall pain. Muscles, while they may seem like one big piece of tissue, are actually composed of many little teeny tiny fibers that all need to move together to create a strong contraction. If these fibers are restricted or unable to move together, we get a decrease in flexibility, increase in muscle tension, and pain. The nerve impulses are sent to your muscle fibers and they all contract together, moving smoothly and as one, and if some of them can't move, our muscle is not able to stretch or contract as much as it should. Unfortunately, aging has an effect on our flexibility. It causes an overall loss of flexibility. We have less water in our tissue and our discs, which increase joint stiffness and also cause a decrease in muscle and tendon elasticity. There are a couple of rules we need to follow when we stretch. When we stretch, we need to make sure we warm up first, so our muscles are nice and warm, kind of like a piece of taffy. If you stretch a cold piece of taffy, it snaps in half. If you stretch a warm piece of taffy, it elongates and becomes longer. You do not want to stretch into the pain. You want to stop right before it, so you feel a good stretch, but nothing is uncomfortable. You want to stretch before and after exercise. So you want to do your light warm-up, stretch, exercise, and finish up with a few more stretches. You want to breathe deep, exhaling into the stretch, while also visualizing the muscles you are lengthening. The warm-up before you stretch can consist of brisk walking, bicycling, doing some jumping jacks, taking a hot shower, or spending a few minutes in the sauna. There are several different types of stretching. There's static, dynamic, myofascial, contract relax, and resisted stretching. Static stretching is the most common form of stretching. It is slow and at the end range of movement. It is stationary, so you hold one position for 30 to 60 seconds. You can do it actively by yourself or passively by having a friend or a partner assist you with the stretch, pushing you deeper into the stretch. This type of stretching can reduce muscle force by 30% for 30 minutes, meaning you can decrease that tension in your muscles by about 30% following a good stretch. When you do static stretching, you want to relax with rhythmical breathing. So you want to breathe in and breathe out with a good rhythm that is consistent and equal. You want to envision the muscle lengthening, paying attention to detail and what part of the stretch really feels the best. Use good body mechanics so that you don't compromise one part of your body while stretching another. A ballistic or bouncy motion can actually cause damage to your muscles. It can cause tiny tears or send off a stretch reflex that will cause your muscle to become really tight and spasm. Dynamic stretching is used when using controlled movements with the same movement patterns. You want to use this type of stretching when you're going to be moving in many different directions, like playing basketball or volleyball or tennis. It is very beneficial before functional workouts, or good for explosive movements like jumping or running. Again, you want to warm up before you do this stretching, and you want to start slow, and you also want to perform many repetitions, at least 10. You want to try to start this type of stretching about 6 to 12 minutes before sprinting or any high-paced activity. A myofascial stretch is what most people use a foam roller for. Your myofascia is a type of connective tissue that builds up over time between your skin and your muscles. When it builds up and it isn't moved, it becomes really tight, like a rubber band that isn't stretched. So in moving the skin and the muscles together, we can decrease these adhesions and decrease that tightness so the skin and the muscles move really well over top of each other. A contract, relax stretch is usually used with a partner. It is a submaximal isometric contraction of the same or opposite muscle. An isometric contraction is where you squeeze your muscle, but your body doesn't move. You want to hold this squeeze for 6 seconds and then relax and do a static stretch for 30 seconds. An example of this is increasing the flexibility of the hamstrings. You want to contract your quads, squeeze it for 6 seconds, relax, and then do a hamstring stretch for 30 seconds, and repeating this 2 or 3 times. A PNF pattern is a combination of movements, generally up and across your body, and then back down, to simulate the movements that our arm usually uses in conjunction together. A contract, relax stretch can improve athletic performance, improve joint range of motion, increase flexibility while also increasing the strength of the muscles. Resisted stretching is also another strengthening and stretching exercise. It is a submaximal contraction of the muscle while stretching the same muscle. So in the picture here, the gentleman would be squeezing his hamstring muscles while also stretching them at the same time. You can do this either by yourself or with a partner. Some contraindications to stretching, or things that do not go hand in hand with stretching, are cold muscles, hypermobile ligaments, whether you be double jointed or your shoulder moves way more than it should. If you've had a recent surgery, an infection, a fracture, or a soft tissue injury like a muscle tear, talk to your doctor before you start doing any stretching, or your physical therapist. We can help you with that as well. Pain is another indication of something that you shouldn't do with stretching. If you feel pain and not just a slight stretch or discomfort, stop and get some help before you proceed. Physical therapy and stretching go hand in hand. We can do myofascial unwinding or removing more of those restrictions between your skin and your muscles to help you be able to stretch a little bit further. We can do cupping, which brings more circulation and lifts the skin off the muscles to help with that elongation. Dry needling is great for muscle spasms, followed by stretching. You could be amazed by how much further you can stretch after decreasing that spasm with dry needling. Kinesiotaping helps us improve our body mechanics while we stretch, while also bringing increased circulation to the tissue surrounding it. Vibration helps with that stretch reflex to help decrease the muscle spasms and decrease the muscle tension. Ultrasound is a great way to have some heating of the muscles without a heating pad or any movement, so that'll help us elongate the muscles even more. There's freedom from the restriction of tight muscles, and stretching can lead to this. While it may seem time-consuming, stretching is important to include in your daily routine, and it can help you move it, because if you don't move it, you're going to lose it. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this segment of Healthy Living.